is enough to get me to the boiling point!
You just got wrecked.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombies. So today's Tuesday. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. If we have a look at the markets, we are seeing a lot of green today. Yet again, Bitcoin maintaining well over 4,000, 4,106 according to Coin360. Now, guys, I'm a little nervous on today's video because the guys are outside and they're doing stuff with the electric and they're telling me that I could possibly lose electricity during this video, which means the lights will go off, which means I really hope I can get this video out. But before we go, I wanted to say, why not give away another t-shirt today? So I have a size large Crypto Zombies t-shirt, courtesy of Crypto J from the Crypto Zombies Telegram, if you guys haven't joined. And yeah, so if you guys want the shirt, just, drop a comment below, say something about the shirt, and we'll raffle it off tomorrow. Now, having a look at the markets, we do see, let me give it a quick refresh live, actually. Okay, so we're still going up, guys. So we have $138 billion market cap. Bitcoin sitting around 4,089 according to CoinMarketCap. Ethereum 153, XRP 36 cents. If we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Repo up yet again, 64%. DEX having a kind of a weird pattern over there, but up 28%. Holo, Tron, Loopring, Digitex, Zilliqa, Neo, Binance, and Odom all up today. Now, guys, I have so much to talk about today. I'm so excited for this. I think you guys are really going to like this episode. So having a look right here. Now, obviously, we had that spring back, right? We called it 2 days ago. Was Bitcoin going to, break through the $4,000 level? Which it did. And so far, we've actually been maintaining it quite well. Now, if we zoom in over here, the only thing that I want to point out right here is we really need to get higher than this right here, okay? So we kind of peaked out around that $4,089. Now, this is according to Bitstamp, okay? So I think what we need to do is we need to have this actually touch the level and then go above it, because right now all we're getting is lower highs, right? So if we can break through that, it could be looking pretty good for Bitcoin. This is me right now, by the way. I'm just kind of patiently waiting for the bull to come in, right? Well, we have some interesting news on that later as to why there might actually potentially be a bull run a lot sooner than we thought. But before we do, we have to do the responsible thing, talk about what's been going on. I'm sure you guys have already heard about what happened with Ethereum Classic. I'm not going to bore you, but for those of you who don't know, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what happened. So long story short, on January 5th, Ethereum Classic was reorganized at block 7245623. So we have Bitfly, Coinbase, Poloniex, and Kraken have all made announcements confirming the attack. A lot of the platforms have halted Ethereum Classic services. Coinbase was originally the ones that detected it, okay? They had 11 distinct deep chain reorganizations, 9 of which facilitated double spends. Based on the exchange's estimates, the attacks were able to double spend 88,500 Ethereum Classic, worth over $400,000 at the time. Now, Ethereum Classic has taken a bit of a hit since then. It fell about 10%, and I think it's recently kind of gone back up again. Actually, if we just come over here and look at it, you'll see that it took a pretty massive hit right here, but then it's been going up ever since. So talking about that, the attacker has been identified. So you can see right here, within the last day, the attack stopped January 7th when the attacker's control of total mining power fell below 50%. I mean, it was still damn close at 49.6%. So the thing is that if the attacker can gain over that 50% again, well, then these attacks can possibly continue. So really quick, 51% attacks, right? For those of you who don't know, an attack can occur when one miner is able to amass 50% of the hashing power, allowing that miner to outvote honest miners. This means that the attacker could statistically maintain the longest chain and determine which transactions to be included on the blockchain. So this invalidates one of the issues of blockchain solves under normal conditions, which is double spending, where a user spends the same cryptocurrency multiple times. You can see right here, honest chain, then it gets invalidated, and then the attacker's secret chain, right? These large-scale attacks are typically performed against cryptocurrency exchanges, so by depositing coins into an exchange, the attacker can trade at risk Ethereum Classic for Bitcoin or another valuable cryptocurrency. Then the attacker can revert these transactions to regain the Ethereum Classic, all right? Now, if you guys want to know know a little bit more about this, you can go over to here. This is a nice article that came out. It's 51% attacks explained, okay? It goes into a lot more detail than I just did. You guys can learn everything about how this works. I always encourage educating yourself into these types of situations. Now, interestingly enough, Charlie Lee came out and he had this tweet, although it's been getting a lot of criticism. He said, "This is a thought-provoking observation. By definition, a decentralized cryptocurrency must be susceptible to 51% attacks, whether by hash rate, stake, and or permissionlessly acquirable resources. If a crypto can't be 51% attacked, it is permissioned and centralized." What do you guys think about that? So that's a really interesting thought. It's ironic and weird and kind of makes me question everything now. I feel like my whole life is a lie. But at the same time, I did hear somebody from the back yell out Digibyte. I know somebody yelled Digibyte, right? So they are looking for solutions towards this, okay? There are a lot of projects that understand that you need to have security on the network, but also these 51% attacks, they are a serious situation moving forward. Now, if you guys are interested, there's this website called crypto51.app. I'll drop it below, and it basically tells you the cost of a 51% attack for 1 hour. So, in other words, if you wanted to attack Bitcoin for 1 hour, apparently that would cost you $329,243 per hour, which I was kind of shocked because that seems kind of low, doesn't it? For only $329,000 an hour, you can attack Bitcoin. So I don't know 100% if it's actually that simple. But anyway, you can go over here, look at it, Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash only 12,000 and you can attack the network. Ethereum Classic, right here you have, well, obviously it happened 100%. Yeah. So having a look at this, guys, if you want, you can dive in and look at that. Now, before we get into the big news of the day, I just wanted to highlight some things that have been going on with Bitcoin. And I wanted to talk about something that happened with the Winklevoss brothers. They had an AMA the other day. And then we're going to move on to the bigger story. So according to data available, the Bitcoin network has been processing between 200,000 and 250,000 transactions per day. Now, this is about twice as much of what we were processing 3 years ago. However, we're currently paying similar prices for transactions. This is a really good thing because when we had that all-time high last year and, the Bitcoin network was processing 450,000 transactions a day, you saw it was getting clogged and some people were paying fees up to $34 depending on how much you were moving. Now, currently, some people are saying depending on the size, it's cost maybe 18 cents to move large sums, but the average happens to be around 2 cents to move, Bitcoin pretty much right now, which makes it on par with what it was about 3 years ago. And the other thing I wanted to point out too is if you can see this right above my head here, the hash rate actually started steadily decreasing when everyone was having all that FUD, miners were shutting down, people were freaking out. Well, it looks like we kind of steadied around a low right around here, okay, in the beginning of December, and now we've climbed back up yet again. So this is a good thing. Now, I want to talk about this Reddit AMA that happened with the Winklevoss twins. Now, if you don't know what an AMA is, it essentially just stands for Ask Me Anything. They go on there, you ask them anything, they answer, right? So there was a question about whether or not Bitcoin will keep its #1 position among cryptocurrencies. So Cameron expressed his optimistic view, saying that Bitcoin is certainly the OG. It's hard to defeat network effects. So in terms of hard money, aka store of value, Bitcoin is most likely the winner in the long term. They also talked about the fact that they said that they are committed as ever to making an ETF a reality. Now, whether or not it'll be their ETF, we'll see, because they've been rejected flat out before, but we do have these other potential ETFs on the horizon, so maybe they'll get behind it somehow and see if they can make that come to fruition. Now, they also say, here's the thing that everyone's talking about, we believe Bitcoin is better at being gold than gold. If we're right, then over time, the market cap of Bitcoin will surpass the $7 trillion market cap of gold. Now, going back to my video I made, I think it was last week, and it was, can Bitcoin actually go to $333,000. I'll drop it right here if you guys want to check it out. So basically, it was talking about if Bitcoin was to replace gold, and these guys think it's possible. Now, I want to go over to this tweet from Trace Mayer. He says, essentially, no capital allocated to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, empty, infinitely expandable wealth storage vessel to absorb capital flows. As sterile asset, Bitcoin price increases wealth transfer from other assets, a black hole on the world's balance sheet will be legendary. And as you can see right here, you know, looking down at the bottom, I mean, that little tiny bit is crypto institutionalized AUM. So there you go, guys. Very, 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 very small. Now, getting back to the story, responding to a question on the relative importance of blockchain versus cryptocurrencies, Tyler stated that one can't exist without the other. A blockchain without a crypto is like calling AOL the internet. Okay, I mean, you could technically have blockchains without cryptos. I mean, you do need some type of a mechanism, like a token within it, but you don't have to necessarily speculate or have it out on the open market. But I see where he's going with that. And of course, they had to plug their own coin. Speaking about the long-term potential of both fiat and crypto exchanges, Cameron pointed out that currently fiat on-ramps are crucial to crypto, but that he can see a future where everything, including fiat, is crypto, plugging the twins' USD-backed stablecoin, the Gemini dollar. Okay, now, this is the big story of the day. You don't want to miss this, guys. Now, since 2012, the U.S. has imposed over 60 rounds of sanctions against Kremlin, many of which do not have clear paths to get lifted. So sanctions are basically a way to achieve certain objectives, mostly political, in a non-violent way. Russia certainly doesn't take this lightly and will try to mitigate these sanctions in any way possible. And here is the story. So you have Vladislav Ginko. He's this guy right here in the picture, okay? And he is a lecturer at Moscow's Russian Presidential Academy of National Economy and Public Administration. And he anticipates that new U.S. sanctions will force the Kremlin into diversifying its cash reserves into Bitcoin. Okay, so U.S. sanctions may be mitigated only through Bitcoin use, he believes. Because of U.S. sanctions, Russia's elite is forced to dump U.S. assets and U.S. dollars and invest hugely into Bitcoin. So Central Bank of Russia sits around 466 billion of reserves and has to diversify in case there is limited opportunities to do so in the future. He obviously says that now's a great time to get into Bitcoin, right? It's super cheap. He says, in his opinion, the first wave of significant Russian government investment into Bitcoin could begin within weeks and would be worth billions of dollars, okay? He says, I believe that the Russian government will start diversifying its reserves with Bitcoin in February this year when U.S. Congress will introduce a new sanctions against Russia. So, Mr. Ginko, a graduate of the St. Petersburg State University, has held various academic investments and government relation roles throughout Russia over the past decades. You could see him right here. He's on a Russian state television program, whatever. So anyway, he's appeared on a bunch of different state TV, radio, and all these different things, providing economic commentary, and says much of his recent work has been in persuading Russian officials that Bitcoin is the best way to allay the impacts of tough U.S. sanctions against the Kremlin. So, he says Russia's government is not against cryptocurrencies. The Russian president put adoption of fintech as a key factor for Russian economy's survival. He says, I, as an expert economist at Russian Presidential Academy of National Economic and Public Administration, put my public media figures' weight behind the work to persuade various stakeholders of Russian society in the need for investing central banks' reserves into Bitcoin. I believe that there is coming in the near future when other countries will start doing that, and Russia has a brilliant chance to invest into a heavily oversold Bitcoin. Now, you might just think this is one man's opinion, right? So this could just be all blown out of proportions and it's just this guy speculating. Well, we're going to go a little bit deeper and I'm going to show you something really interesting that came out last month that was somewhat under the radar. Or was it last? Well, it was the beginning of last month. So anyway, at the Russia Calling Investment Forum in Moscow in November, Vladimir Putin made it clear he's seeking alternative reserve currencies. He says, we have no goal of moving away from the dollar. it's the dollar that's moving away from us. He says those making such decisions are not shooting themselves in the foot, but somewhere more delicate further up the body. Because there's instability when it comes to doing business with the dollar, this gives rise to a desire, and it's happening all around the world, to find alternative reserves currencies and create a financial system independent from the dollar. That might be a misprint, but anyway, unlike many world leaders, okay, Vladimir Putin has never publicly condemned Bitcoin or completely ruled out government adoption or investment. In fact, in 2015, he did say Bitcoins are backed by nothing. This is a major problem. They are not really linked to anything, and they're backed by nothing. However, he says, as an accounting unit, these coins, or whatever they are called, they could be used for that. And their adoption becomes wider and wider as some kind of unit in some kind of account. Probably, it's possible. So during a televised government meeting on cryptocurrencies and fintech, the president again noted serious risks surrounding cryptocurrencies, but went on to say that the government would work on regulations in order to use the advantage offered by the new financial technology. Now, here is the really crazy thing that came out. So Vladimir Putin had requested collaboration with NEO. Yes, guys, the NEO Competence Center in St. Petersburg said it received a letter from the Russian Association of Cryptocurrency and Blockchain requesting a collaboration in accordance with the requests of the president of the Russian Federation, Mr. Vladimir Putin. So I don't know if everyone's going to go run out and buy some NEO right now, but this can actually be validated because if we go back to this article that was printed November 30th from NEO News Today, and we scroll down a little farther, so they're talking about NSPCC, scroll down, and then look, here is the official letter right here. President of the Russian Federation, December 12th. There you go. So, pretty incredible, guys. So the direction in which Russia is going also gives a hint towards Bitcoin adoption. Russia is on a hoarding spree. It's added 36.6 tons of gold to its reserves in November last year, followed by 29.9 ton in October and 37.8 ton increase in September, according to the data from the World Gold Council. So, as Bitcoin has properties similar to gold, it only makes sense to diversify their portfolio by investing into Bitcoins. And clearly, Putin hasn't really come out and said he hates it. He was a little concerned about it, but he thinks that it could have a good use case. Plus, if they're having issues with the dollar, for example, you're seeing a lot of different countries kind of move away from the dollar as the global reserve. Countries, for example, obviously like Russia, China, India, Iran, Turkey, and a whole other mess of them, okay? So does this mean that these guys are going to be turning towards Bitcoin? Well, we can only speculate. However, I think the cryptocurrency money jar just got a little bit fatter today. I'm not saying to go out and buy Bitcoin, guys. We're nothing like that. Not financial advice. I just really wanted to bring that to you. And if Russia does decide that they're going to come in and they're going to buy up massive amounts, they're going to be buying this in the billions of dollars. And considering the measly little market cap of 71.4 billion currently for cryptocurrencies, well, I would expect a massive move, and I would expect it to the upside. But short term, we could bounce around for a bit. Let's be real, guys. So that, and don't forget, we also have the other things coming in too, because Backed, they got pushed from January 24th, so they're probably coming out in February. These guys end up purchasing Bitcoin in February. Then we have the year up to the halvening in May. Could be a really, really massive 2019, guys. Could be. I'm hoping for it. Now, I just wanted to say, Brave Browser Software says we have passed 5.5 million monthly active users and now have 28,000 verified publishers. I am a verified publisher. I did join, guys. I'm trying to do my part. Along with key partnerships and product redesigns, 2018 was busy for us. We can't wait for more achievements together in 2019. So, if you guys haven't downloaded the Brave Browser yet, you should at least just give it a shot, see what it's all about. Sometimes I get people in the comments that are like, oh, I hate all these ads on YouTube. Well, unfortunately, the ads help the channel out, but also I know that ads suck. I mean, I hate watching ads myself. So you guys can download Brave and watch YouTube without ads. Just throwing it out there, guys. I do have a link in the description if you guys want to download Brave Browser and have an ad-free experience, okay? Now, I also wanted to talk about a report that came out. Now, this is talking about Tron. The firm has completed the hard fork logic optimization and development of event subscription function. Currently, the team is working on the multi-signature wallet and smart contract. So you had proposal number 13, which was submitted by Justin Sun, has also been approved. The proposal was submitted by the founder in order to increase the amount of energy on the network. So this approval will lead to massive expansion of the Tron network with reduced transaction costs. The report also mentioned that Tron is striving to take over EOS in terms of the number of dApps being launched. Apart from this, Tron is also aiming to outperform Ethereum in terms of network ecosystem. Now, I don't know as far as all that goes, but I will tell you today, Tron did surpass Bitcoin SV, which is hilarious because Justin Sun literally made a tweet yesterday that was like, we're going to pass you. And then it passed it. And it's actually doing really well, up 11% today. But anyway, another proposal submitted by one of the super representatives named Tron 1 has also been approved. This proposal is expected to improve the scalability of the ecosystem. Users can now create and name their own tokens with the existing token names. Further, the TRC10 and TRC20 smart contracts are going to be connected once the token name duplication is approved. So therefore, all dApps will be able to use the TRC10 tokens for circulation. All right. Now, the new Brazilian president, who has officially taken office a week ago, has criticized a project offering to create a cryptocurrency for indigenous people. So this isn't good. As per local crypto outlet Portal do Bitcoin, the contract, among other things, offered to create a cryptocurrency that could circulate among the indigenous population of the country. The budget thus included articles on feasibility, study, and development of the platform for the crypto. However, the government suspended the project on January 3rd as the contract was signed improperly and lacked technical analysis. So, moreover, the government considered that the contract had been signed too quickly and entailed considerable expenditure. So, there you guys go. I mean, what are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? Now, I wanted to highlight one thing before we go. I guess I could have put this a little earlier in the video, but you know, a lot of people are still looking at crypto in dollars. You know, I do say that if you're in cryptocurrencies, for example, if you come over here and you see some of these gains, right, you'll see a lot of green, right? But, for example, if we switch to Bitcoin comparative, you'll notice that there's actually a lot more red. So what tends to happen is because so much is connected to the Bitcoin movement, Bitcoin still controls everything, right? Mark Moss kind of referred to it as this big boat kind of just dragging the coins like barnacles across the floor, right? So you'll notice that when Bitcoin tends to make that move, your coin moves with it. So today we're seeing a lot of red. So that's just something that not major, but you know, if had you kept it in dollars, you would have obviously seen something different. So the point that I'm trying to make with this, where's the article? Here it is that, so 1xBit is a gambling website, a crypto gambling website. And they noticed that according to the data, they reported that during the height of the Q4 crash, when markets fell more than 122 billion, gamblers continued to place bets as normal, despite the collapsing value of the cryptocurrencies that they were offering on the website. So the volume of the bets placed on the platform stayed completely the same in the US dollar equivalent. It remained that roughly throughout the entire time. So they're thinking that crypto users appear to be less concerned about high volatility and poor crypto asset performance and more concerned about how much of return they made in the equivalent fiat value. Now, this is specific to their gambling website, but I'm just saying I do notice, I mean, even on my channel, we refer to a lot of stuff in you know, dollars, because it's easy. People are used to dollars. It's what they're familiar with. But at the same time, if you're going to hold crypto, it also helps to start looking at things with the Bitcoin comparative. So that's just kind of like a public service announcement, guys. Now, Bitcoin wallet provider Samourai Wallet, this sucks, by the way, said it was disabling several privacy-related features in its product due to notices from Google to block the wallet. Now, listen how screwed up this is with these centralized guys, right? So Google Play, right? So they're telling them that if you don't disable these, if you don't have more transparency, we're going to take you off the site, right? So Samourai, which has aimed to provide a Bitcoin-centric experience through adding enhanced anonymity options and removing references to fiat currency, confirmed it was removing 3 functions from the wallet. So scrolling down here, the things that they had was stealth mode, remote SMS commands, and a way to mitigate the risk of so-called SIM swapping attacks. Allegedly flouted these, which are the way that Google looks at them, despite all these features being present in its wallet since 2015. Now, the reason that they're upset is they say we applied for an exemption with Google months ago, which was rejected just days ago, despite our argument that removing such functionality would cause users who rely on those functions to be less secure and more exposed. So what do you guys think about this? They're telling them you got to get rid of these privacy features, but they're saying these privacy features are what's helping to protect our users. Very, very interesting, guys. I'm not even sure how to feel about that one. It's unfortunate that, that's what's going on. And I wanted to end on this one funny article. So it's not funny, but investor Bill Miller, he's the founder of investment management firm Miller Value Partners. He spoke to CNBC host Kelly Evans during the show The Exchange, and he was calling Bitcoin an interesting technological experiment and recalling a clear pattern of higher lows each year. For instance, the coin's lowest price hovered around 3,200 last year. He stated, however, now Bitcoin is trading over 4,000 again. This is my favorite part of the article. He goes on to say, Bitcoin has the potential to be worth a lot and to be worth zero.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
My work here is done.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Anyway, I just thought, geez, talk about, you talk about outlandish price predictions. I got a price prediction. It's either going to be worth a lot or it's going to be worth nothing. I'm a genius. Okay. But anyway, seriously, Miller highlighted that a reason he likes to include crypto in his portfolio is that there's no obvious lasting correlation between crypto market stocks and bonds. We've noticed this, right? Crypto can be down, stocks can be up, stocks can be down, crypto can be up. There's really no correlation. However, I do want to point out that in December of 2017, when Bitcoin hit its record mark of 20,000, Miller claimed to have invested almost 50% of the money from his hedge fund into, Bitcoin. So it's no surprise that the guy's got a little bit of a bad taste in his mouth, but he did end it by saying, that bubbles are necessary to bring capital into the market to see if these innovations are actually going to stand. And before we get out of here, I just want to give a shout out to HODLNOT. He says, the world has never seen a phenomenon that even comes close to Bitcoin. Absolute robustness, absolute immutability, absolute censorship resistance, absolute truth. Very few grasp how enormous this is and how profoundly it will change the world. However, my hunch is, anyone out there watching, any of you guys out there, I think you get it, or else you wouldn't be watching it, right? So shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You know I freaking love you guys. You are the best. That's it for the day. That's all I got. I'm going to try to get this video out. I'm really glad that the lights didn't go out while I did this. So yeah, I'll see if I can get this video out before the power goes out. If not, I don't know how I'm going to upload it. But that being said, guys, I just want to remind you once again, we have the Ledger Nano X has recently come out for pre-order. I ordered mine yesterday. I'm a sucker for these limited edition things. I like collecting stuff like that. I'm a nerd. So if you guys want, they have it available. It's $119. I have a link below. It's my affiliate link. If you guys use it, you're helping support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Pretty pumped for this. So definitely check that guys out. That being said, I'm skedaddling out of here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Markets are looking good. Is Russia going to sweep in and save the day? Could be, guys. February is right around the corner, right? So that being said, thank you to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys freaking rule. You're the reason I get up and I do this every single day. I love you. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.